Hello, everyone. How are you today? Our thinking point, our reflection point for today is maybe and most likely we are overcomplicating what life is all about. If you think about it, all of these human aspirations, establishing a good career, setting up your own family, climbing the corporate ladder, earning lots of money, most of which you will not be able to use anyway in your lifetime. These are not natural. They're not innate. If you think about it, they are man-made projections. They are artificial. It is us, human beings themselves, ourselves, which ascribe meaning and value to them. Historically, especially with the advent of the Industrial Revolution, and then of course with the rise of capitalism, we have inherited this value, this reverence even, for the 9 to 5, unquestioning loyalty, quote unquote, to the corporate world, to our careers, to our professions. And often we don't even question why. And why would we question them? It's so convenient to simply just follow along with the masses, with the herd. What benefit does it give you if you question? After all, at the end of the day, you will still have to earn. You will still have to pay for your bills, your utilities. So why question? Even if you don't necessarily like your job, your career, you need it. Because our modern society has been constructed in such a way that you are dependent on your work, on your career, and you need to stick to it so that you will be able to afford and pay for the contraptions of modern society. That's just the way things are. Currently, that is. And so, many of our goals, our aspirations, our plans, buying a big house, putting your kids through college, getting a degree, of course, they're neither intrinsically good nor bad. Because these are not moral subjects. These are amoral. Career, jobs, professions, they have no intrinsic moral value. They are amoral. And the only reason why they are and seem important is because historically, and of course up to the present day, we, as human beings, ascribe such value to them. Which brings to mind, in stark contrast, the teachings of this German teacher. He doesn't really like to be called a philosopher, which I would agree to. He's more of a teacher, a popular public speaker, and a thought leader, if you will. Eckhart Tolle. For Eckhart Tolle, and this is similar to the French philosopher Albert Camus' propositions as well, which we discussed in a previous video. For Eckhart Tolle, there's no grand scheme, there's no grand reason for human existence. But we shouldn't take this sadly. It's not something to weep about, but rather this seeming meaninglessness, because it's true if you think about it. As per Eckhart Tolle's teachings, human existence has no intrinsic meaning, it has no intrinsic value, it has no meaning in itself. Rather than weeping, sobbing about that thought, it is actually liberating. It's freeing. For Eckhart Tolle, there's no grand mission, there's no grand purpose, which of course will strike a sensitive nerve, perhaps a bundle of nerves among the religious folks out there, among proponents of logotherapy, of meaning-based philosophies, of course. But what Eckhart Tolle is saying, and again, very similar to Albert Camus, things, ergo our lives, only have meaning because we give them such. They only have significance. For example, your career only has significance because we give it so. And if there's no intrinsic value, there's no intrinsic meaning in all of these, what do we do? What do we do then with our lives? For Eckhart Tolle, the answer is shockingly simple. In the face of a life that has no intrinsic value, no intrinsic or grand meaning or purpose, our only intrinsic, meaning our only natural purpose is to exist, is to live. That's it. That is it. You only need to exist. And if you know Eckhart Tolle, this is why you'll notice many of his teachings and exercises are mindfulness heavy and mindfulness based. It's all about existing in the moment. It's all about living, being present, nowhere else but here, in the present moment. That's it. Sounds simple, but actually, if you think about it, just look around your office, just go to the shopping mall. This business of merely existing, of merely being in the present, is so much more difficult than you think. We have evolved and come to a point in this modern, post-capitalist society that we are always overstimulated. We always need to be doing something, whatever that something is. We are never comfortable just being here, just staying still. It's as if we have a generational, a contagious ADHD for everyone. And so this business, this task of existing, is extremely difficult for most of us. Dare I say for all of us, because of the way things have already become. And so, let this be a reminder, an exercise for all of us. Hopefully, we can get glimmers, moments of peace, where we can allow ourselves to experience, to be nowhere else except the present. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you again soon in our next video. Thank you for bearing with me. It's been a while. I wish you all the best and stay in the present. Stay in the present.